In this episode, we are talking about the weather-resistant barrier. And believe it or not, here where we are, we need to pass inspection for it. So let's get into it. So why do we need a weather-resistant barrier? For one thing, it's required by code. But let's go beyond that. There are two main reasons for why we need it. So one is air infiltration and the other one is water infiltration. When it comes to water infiltration, if you think about it, the houses are made out of wood and wood is susceptible to water. So if water gets in, it can cause rot, it can cause mold and a bunch of problems. The second part would be air infiltration or air leakage. So this one has two problems. One of them is that air itself has humidity in it. So once it gets inside, it can condense and then you have water inside the wall. That's one problem. Now, when it comes to the air leakage, this is part of high-performing homes. And the problem is that, let's say you already spent all that money heating the house or cooling the house. And if you have air leakage out of your control, then you are pretty much sending that money down the drain. Now, when it comes to the weather-resistive barrier, in our case, we love using a Hoover zip system. This one the green panel has already the weather barrier integrated into it, and then when you apply the tape, it works as a system. So in our case, we absolutely love this product. The only thing is that it adds a complication because here where we are, we need to pass a nailing inspection. So we have to do this in two parts, but we're going to talk about that in a moment.
So we got our nailing pattern inspection out of the way, and that might sound strange to you guys because here in Colorado we have high winds, so it's an important inspection. So that involves putting blocking around all the perimeters of the panels and then also meeting all the nailing schedules. And by nailing schedules, I mean the nailing spacing around the perimeter and the nailing spacing in between. When we look at our brace panel schedule, the toughest schedule is 312. So basically 3 inches around the perimeter spacing and then 12 inches along the middle. In my opinion, my recommendation for you is don't waste time like looking, okay, this is a 312, this is a 412, this is a 612. We use an 8D nail, 12D nail. Forget about it. Look at the toughest one, the 312 with a 10D nail, and then just apply that for everything. You're gonna save a lot of time. It's easier for the framer. You just go 3 around the perimeter, 12 in the middle, and forget about it. The house is stronger, and to be honest, you might actually save money. The engineer might think, oh yeah, you're saving money by using less nails, blah, blah, blah. That's BS. With one visit of the engineer, you can buy nails for this entire house. So don't waste your time with the engineer. Just do it tough from the beginning. I wanted to show you this super awesome product if you haven't seen them. I'm sure you have seen them. They're all over the place in construction sites. It's basically these zip system panels, and as the name states, they act and work as a system. So first, the zip system, the green panels, are to replace basically what you have as house wrap. House wrap, for one, is not as cheap as you might think, and it takes a lot of work to install. And then if you get a windstorm, you basically have to do your work again. And we played with it and we don't recommend it. The beauty about these panels are that you install them and you are partially covered from the weather, if you will. You are fully covered once you install your zip tape in this case. And that's what I have right here. This is an acrylic tape with some technology that's very cool. It has a very strong adhesive and you can probably use it for other applications we have. But the proper application is you cover all the seams around the perimeter of the panel and then you have to roll the tape. It's very important because by rolling the tape, the adhesive on the tape activates. And then after that, it's very, very difficult to remove it. One thing that we like to do as part of our assembly of the water-resistive barrier is to apply SIP system liquid flash on all the fasteners. We mainly do it, I don't know if you've seen our episodes, we take a long time to build, and I know some of you have said it before, but it is what it is, right? Anyway, the reason we do it is because if those nails get exposed for a long time, they could end up potentially rusting or damaging over time. So I think it's just a good idea from our perspective to at least cover them. It's been proven that you don't get air leakages from them, but like I said, we like to do it just in case one of the nails got overdriven or it didn't go all the way through. We try to make sure that doesn't happen, but anyway, just in case. And then finally, I mean, while we're here, we have this stretch tape that we have on the windows. We're not really going to talk about it that much because we spoke about it on the previous episode for windows, but that's an amazing tape, also part of the SIP system family to protect windows. With that, I think I could actually show you a couple applications that we like to use SIP liquid flash that wouldn't work with tape as well or other products. One quick thing before we move forward is, yes, we have been sponsored by Hoover. We have worked with them. We make videos for them once in a while, but everything that we're showing you, at least for this particular video, is our own money. We paid for the panels, we pay for the tape, we pay for the liquid flash. So we like the system. That's why we love it. And it's just a bonus that we work with them once in a while. With that out of the way, let me mention real quick on the SIP liquid flash. This one of the applications that we use it for is the transition between the concrete and the wall. The tape is amazing for attaching to the panels, but it has a much harder time attaching to concrete. So that's when we apply SIP liquid flash. Right here you can see that we have applied it. It's probably faded out a little bit, but it's there, and it gives us a very nice airtight location, and it prevents bug infiltration as well. We got this Telehandler from Sunbelt. We rented it for a day. So it was a requirement to have a forklift to offload the windows of the truck. So we decided to also extend the rental for a week so that it could help us do other things. So for example, some of the windows are very, very heavy, so it helped us move them to the second story. It also helped us move a very, very heavy door down to the basement. And with that, we had met our goals, you could say. So what we decided to do is we built a little platform in here. I don't know, OSHA, is this safe? I don't know. But this helped us move to the very, very difficult areas in the house. And we took care of the weather barrier, all the waterproofing, everything that we could from this side of the house. And so yeah, with that, I think it was awesome. We highly recommend it. In this house, we have a lot of steel going in and out of the house, giving us a lot of weird angles in the transitions. So that's an ideal use case for the use of SIP liquid flash. Or in this case, as you can see, how we've installed the pink stuff is a PROSOCO R-Guard, and they are equivalent. Well, we're almost done and ready for our weather barrier inspection, except for two parts of the house, and those are the most difficult parts of the house. And that would be, we haven't fully taped up there. We need to do the liquid flash or PROSOCO, whatever it is. And the problem for that is that we need to install some pump jacks. If you're not familiar with pump jacks, they're these things right here. And you'll basically see it in a moment in this episode. They're these aluminum tubes that you install all the way to the roof, and then you put a little platform, and then you can climb up and down. It's basically what painters use. We haven't done it because, as you can see, it's winter, it's snowy. So that means I have to go climb on the roof, attach these guys, so it could be a little bit slippery and dangerous, so that's why we haven't done it. Similarly, we're also missing this area. Some places we need to tape as well for the same reasons. So really, my hope is that we can take care of this really soon. Hopefully, I don't know. And then we'll get an inspection passed and we'll be done with this episode. And more importantly, we can install the exterior insulation. We weren't necessarily thinking about talking about the pump jacks, but to be honest, they have been absolutely amazing. Look at the angle here of the mountain, look at the different cantilevers up here. To be honest, I'm not sure how else we could have done it. We probably could have rented some scaffolding or something, but it would just be troublesome anyway. And by the way, they feel absolutely amazingly safe once we get up there. They actually feel more safe than when I was on the little cart, the Telehandler. Anyway, they are pricey, but you know, to be honest, it's one of those things that once you have them, they're like, I wish I had had them before. So I highly recommend them. We don't do vented roofs, or our ventilation is mechanical, so it's very important that we protect every single piece of framing for air infiltration. So when framers typically assemble the wall to roof transition, they leave the blocking, including ourselves, with a bunch of little holes around it that could be air infiltrated. So what we end up doing is we put a piece of zip sheathing and then we cover it with a zip liquid flash to prevent any kind of infiltration. We're on the very last steps to be able to finish this WRB, and as you can see, we had snow on the ground and it's actually pouring down because it started to melt. But we really want to have this inspection next Tuesday, so that's why we're finishing this up. In fact, we've already finished with all of the tape. We're just going through the final roof line to finish up the zip liquid flash. So with this, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will pass inspection next Tuesday.
Hey, so we made it, we passed the inspection, we're super happy, we're super thrilled about it. So, being honest, we wouldn't expect anything else. I mean, if there's one inspection that we should pass, it's the one for the weather barrier. We have been doing all this collaboration with Hoover. It would be extremely shameful if we didn't pass this inspection. But still, we had some minor concerns, like the woodpeckers that give us this trouble. We were thinking maybe the inspector would say something about it, but no, thankfully everything is fine. Of course, we're going to cover that when it's time to install the finish. But for now, we are done with the inspection and we can continue our work. So thank you so much for staying with us during this video. If you liked it, consider giving us a like and subscribe to our channel. It would mean the world to me. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.